Yellow Car is about experience strategy for schools, where we help them intentionally design every stage of that life cycle for their community members, whether that's students, families, and employees. And equally within Yellow Car, we are very mindful of designing exactly that same journey for the people that we are privileged to work with.
When we think about that journey, we often think about that journey being a mix of highs and lows, of peaks and troughs. We think about what people will remember and what they will take away from that experience that they've had.
There's such a power in the moments that we can create that really anchors a memory in our brain, that is that moment of surprise or wonder or joy that lasts with us way beyond the experience itself.
And as we think of ourselves setting up Yellow Car as a relatively new company, we also think about how we can intentionally design that experience for one another and for the company that we're setting up. And that means that sometimes, for example, that we find it really important to go on a walk and to have time to reflect and think about what it is that we're doing and the impact that we're having.
Yeah, something happens when you step away from your desk, when you're in a complete different setting, and it's almost seeing it from a complete different perspective, allowing you to either untangle an issue or come up with new ideas.
And one of the things that we felt when we first started thinking about the idea of the Yellow Car Walk, the very first one, is that we wanted people to share some of that idea of going on a journey, of going on a pilgrimage, of reflecting about what was important for them and having conversations with people, colleagues from all over the world, and also having something that they can look back on and remember for a lifetime.
What did I expect? Knowing Yellow Car, I expected the unexpected.
I don't know what I expect, but I know I expected something amazing.
I knew it would be an adventure, I knew it would be meaningful, and that I'd have a full heart.
Yeah, what I did expect with this nice invitation is to find good company, good people. That is number one of my expectations.
But one thing is for sure, and that there are times where we will push people out of their comfort zones, because something happens when you are in that learning zone where you're pushing yourself and you're realizing that you're capable of so much more.
So we really do hope that this was a journey to remember for a lifetime. So when it comes to that question of what will we remember?
I first go back to that moment when we reached this point where it was very slippery. We needed to support one another to move on, to get to the end of this walk through a wonderful Christmas wonderland. And people were at different stages, so some people were really panicking. And when we reached that point where we were almost done with our walk, but this sense of relief, but also of accomplishment, and that is exactly it. That is what we were hoping to achieve. And I am remembering not just the smiles, but mostly the pride that the people that went deepest felt when we reached the top.